The climate crisis is here. Time slipping away to stop the worst effects of global warming, and we need solutions. Hosted by me, Molly Wood, How We Survive dives deep into the economics, the tech, and the human stories behind those solutions. From billionaires trying to monopolize lithium mines to business rivalries so fierce that one CEO was dragged off a plane by federal authorities. How We Survive, following the money to the end of the world because our survival might depend on it. Listen on Odyssey and everywhere you get your podcasts.
30 years ago this fall, a law professor named Anita Hill testified about sexual harassment at Clarence Thomas's Supreme Court confirmation hearings. Now, Because of Anita tells the real story of what happened and what's changed. You'll hear from journalists, witnesses, and activists, and listen in on the first public conversation between Professor Hill and Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. That's Because of Anita, a production of Pineapple Street Studios and The Meteor, out now wherever you get your podcasts.
I can't wait for today's show, man. Positive vibes. We're happy. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Yeah, I'm tired, but I am happy, man. I was just sitting there yesterday watching these games thinking, oh, my God, there's going to be a time where we actually show up and talk about winning. I mean, this is amazing. And, I guess I would start with the Yankees, because they embarrassed themselves, especially on Saturday. I mean, this wild card game should be at Yankee Stadium. Mm-hmm. I told you they were going to have to win 2 out of 3 in the last 2 series. They did it up to Toronto. They did not do it against Tampa Bay. And I told you that Tampa Bay wanted to come in here and knock them out. They wanted to knock them out. They came in here to play, and they went through their normal pitching machinations, which they did, gave everybody a shot here or there. And it was just, the Gleyber Torres thing on Saturday was just mind-numbingly just insulting to anybody who ever watched a sport, paid and bought a ticket to a sport, and you see a guy dogging it down the first base line after the catcher misses on a swing and missed third strike, and just how lazy that was, especially in the midst of a 12-2 games. It's just like that right there was like the epitome of the Yankee weekend. And then yesterday, of course, I don't know, I think it was a field of choice. I don't think it was a single for Judge, but whatever you want to say, they eke out a victory, and now they have to go to Boston, which is really like they should be playing this game at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. I mean, the last time they went up there, they did sweep the Red Sox. I do think they're in a better situation to win this game than Boston, other than the fact that it's at Fenway. But yeah, you're right, of course. They should have won at least 2 out of 3. I should have been in the Legends Suite tomorrow with the prime rib, and I'm not going to be.
You should be upset. I think really, when you think how this affected you in particular, you should be upset.
I am actually very upset about it. I can't be too upset with all the winning that happened yesterday. But yeah, of course I was disappointed. I was so disappointed I couldn't go tomorrow to Yankee Stadium. I'm thinking about going to Boston. A little station presence up there. Now, I did see Evan tweet something out about he might be going on a road trip. If he goes with McGonigal, then I don't think I'll go up there.
You don't need to go. Yeah,
I don't need to go.
No, you just need to stay right here.
But I had the whole night cleared with the Yankee game and the whole thing.
Great. You get to sit and watch it and then come in here tomorrow morning, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to talk about it.
No, well, it'll be Tuesday morning, Wednesday night.
But the thing about the Yankees that would worry me right now is the situation with DJ LeMahieu and his sports hernia that he's going to try and play through. And it's painful. It's definitely painful. And, he's playing third base. I don't know how this affects everything. Give a lot of credit to Gio Urshela making a great play yesterday. That was
staying in the game, too.
That was Jeter-esque.
It was.
That's what Yankee fans say, Jeter-esque. So they're in. I guess that's all that really matters in baseball. It doesn't matter where they play. It all comes down to your next starting pitcher. And, Garrett Cole has not had a great history at Fenway. And this is where your money man's got to come out. And he has not pitched the last few times out. It hasn't been great. This all falls on his right arm right now. And he's got to keep the Red Sox.
He will. He's going to be great. I mean, the fact that he had 3 bad outings, and one of which against the Red Sox up there in recent memory, I mean, I cannot see him come out and be bad in this game. I really can't. If he is, obviously, it can happen. But he's just he gets so focused in these situations. He's such a gamer and a bulldog and everything. I got to go on the history of what Garrett Cole has been, as opposed to what we saw in the last couple of starts. I'm thinking he's going to be great. And the fact that the Red Sox went and used Sale, This is all him. It's
but
all about Garrett Cole, man.
But it's baseball, Susan.
It's baseball, Susan is right.
That's exactly right. And I would just say that this is, I mean, you can't ask for a more pressurized situation for a particular player that has not been great over the last 3 or 4 outings. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens on Tuesday night. Now, talk about Victory Monday. Both quarterbacks yesterday showed that they have what it takes. And I want to start with Daniel Jones because there's a couple things that's going on with Daniel Jones. And yesterday was, prime example of the ability to make the play in the big spot. Whether leading your team to the tying field goal, I would have liked to have seen a game-winning touchdown. That would have been better. But, getting to the tying field goal and then dominating in overtime against a very good defense in their building, in those circumstances, first game home and all that other stuff. So, he's only thrown 1 interception this year in 4 games, and that was the Hail Mary at the end of the first half yesterday. He only has 1 fumble lost. I think only 1 fumble lost, or maybe just 1 fumble. So he has actually grown to a point now where he understands that protecting the football is the most important thing. And that was been one of the big bugaboos with him over the last 2 years. So we have seen marked improvement in that area. And yesterday we saw a young man have his best game as a professional football player, leading his team to victory late in the game and then in overtime. And he looked the part. He looked like he was in command of the game. And this is what I've been talking about over the last 3 weeks, is about we need more from Daniel Jones, or they need more from Daniel Jones. And even with the defense giving up almost 190 yards rushing, you had a quarterback that overcame a lot of this stuff. He really did. He really looked great, and he looked poised, and he was throwing missiles. I mean, he was, sizzling the ball. And the touchdown pass to John Ross was like, all right, we got it. We got this thing going now. And he kept playing, and as the game went on, he played better. So I'm happy for him because it really looks like the light went on.
Yeah.
He did it against a good defense in a very tough situation, and in a game where none of us thought that they would win.
No, I certainly didn't. I thought there was going to be more emotion around this game. I thought it was going to be similar to what you saw years ago where the Superdome had been closed for a long time, and then here comes the Saints after Katrina. I thought you'd see the fan base rally, but that's not the case. It wasn't the case at all.
Well, they didn't have Drew Brees as a quarterback.
Yeah, no,
that's
I know.
The case.
I know, but I just thought the emotion was going to be there in this game regardless, and it wasn't. Now, there was a point, Giants down 21-10. Offensively, they're not getting it done.
Right.
And I'm thinking if they end up with 10 points here, and they are 0-4, that there's just no way that they come back the same team the next week. Like, something would have to change. Maybe that would be the end of Jason Garrett. I don't know. Something would have had to change if they stuck there on 10 points. And clearly they didn't. And Saquon getting involved in the way that he did is another huge thing for the Giants. I mean, if you think about what Saquon had been up until yesterday, I mean, we're talking about a nothing, just a name, not really a player.
We're also talking about somebody coming off of a devastating knee injury.
Sure, but we've seen it before with guys come off. Adrian Peterson off his knee injury.
Yeah, one guy.
But I'm saying that's what Saquon is supposed to be. He's a gold jacket guy. He's touched by the hand of God. He's the second overall pick. I mean, he's more Darko Milicic as the second overall pick than he is Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, well, overall, he'll get there. And yesterday, I think, was part of it. It's him trusting it and them using him in different ways. And I thought they had a pretty creative game plan offensively. And, the interesting thing is, I'm sure you watched New England and Tampa Bay last night. So I thought Josh McDaniels had really one of his best ever game plans. As a rookie quarterback, they go into the fourth quarter. They get a chance at the game-winning field goal. The rookie quarterback at one time had 19 completions in a row. Wasn't a lot of fancy stuff, but you know what? It was a great game plan. They didn't have over 300 yards in total offense. You would think that they did the way that
Sure.
Mac Jones was playing, but it was one of those games where he had to get it out. It was going to be a lot of short passes, a lot of kind of weird screens and tight end delays, all these unique things that are help young quarterbacks get a lot of completions and get confidence as the game went on. I felt like that was the case yesterday with the Giants. Like, it took them a while to get going, but once they got going, there were a lot of really good play calls, a lot of really good play designs. Everybody got involved. A lot of guys touched the ball yesterday. Mm-hmm. Kenny Golladay had a great day. So I thought Jason Garrett had one of his best days as the offense coordinator. And it was about, I know the offense only had 10 points going into the fourth quarter. I just felt like the defense never really took control of the game. Like, they were being run on constantly. And that's frustrating. And that's the other thing about last night's game is that they held Tom Brady to no touchdown passes and 19 points. That's a winning formula. You're making the other team, okay, we got 5 guys in a box, 6 guys in a box. We're going to run it, and we're not going to throw it because you got too many guys in the secondary, and you kind of shorten the game, and then you put yourself in a position to win the game late. The difference is if Tom Brady's the quarterback in the situation, most likely you're going to win the game. And again, he did it again last night, and Mac Jones, unfortunately, couldn't get it done because Nick Folk doinked the final field goal attempt. But I just think that Daniel Jones showed yesterday that he can be the guy, that he can legitimately be the man that he was supposed to be when he was drafted, and he's gotten better each year, and he's not turning the ball over. That's the key thing.
Giants won a game we didn't expect them to win. They've got 2 more on the schedule right after this, going to Dallas and then hosting the Rams. Those are 2 games that prior to the season starting, we said were going to be very difficult games. I think that Dallas game looks harder now than it even did in the beginning of the season with the way that they have played, and the same thing with the Rams, who ended up losing yesterday. Told you, it was one of those letdown games, one of those sandwich spots, the whole thing for the Rams.
Maybe the Cardinals are pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe Kyler Murray is like a jitterbug all over the field.
Maybe he is. Zach Wilson yesterday looked like he could play in the league. He was making throws that not everybody can make. He was doing things that made him look like he belonged. The Jets finding a way to win that game. When they ended up coughing up the lead and the game gets tied and then continuing. I know it was a missed field goal. It could have been a tie and it was a makeable field goal. I understand all of that. But this was a team that looked overmatched, as we talked about the first couple of weeks. Didn't even look like an NFL team and went out there and won, and their quarterback made star throws. Now, I'm not saying he played like a star, but he made a couple of NFL star quarterback throws yesterday that wwere completed and made you get excited for the first time about what he can be and what this team can be.
So maybe this is what Robert Saleh has been talking about, the last 4 or 5 weeks. When the light finally goes on, you're going to see what we see in practice. And in practice, there's no nerves. And the nerves don't, really affect you. And you're out there, you're going through your motions. You're not going to get hit. And they probably see a lot of great things in practice. And, yeah, I know we're talking about practice. But the one thing, and even Zach Wilson said it yesterday, he had one throw at the end of the game in regulation. He drops back. He's probably made this throw 10,000 times. There's a little out route to the right.
Throws it right in the ground.
It's probably about 10,000 times. But he overthrows his intended receiver, and now they give Tennessee a chance, and they have to go into overtime. And even he knows that that's a throw that he has to make. And I know Adam Archuleta said it yesterday on the broadcast. You make this throw, the game is over, and you walk off the field a champion. And those are the throws that he'll learn to make as time goes on. He was nervous. That when you throw the ball high and away like that, you're nervous. And you're nervous because you don't want to make the mistake that you have made in previous games. You don't want to throw the key interception. And so sometimes an incomplete pass is okay. And I would just say that there were a couple times yesterday he had guys open that he missed late in the game that as he calms down and as he continues to grow, remember, he's 2 years behind Daniel Jones. Mm-hmm. So he's just got to calm down and he's got to learn. And he will. And you're right. He made a couple of spectacular throws. And that's what they see in practice. And I'm not sitting here comparing him to any other player in the league other than to give people a perspective of how and what type of throw he made. 2 throws that he made yesterday are reminiscent of the way that Aaron Rodgers threw when he was younger and made plays moving around and had the ability to throw from a different arm angle and put steam on it and be accurate with it. So I'm not saying he's going to beat Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying.
Not everybody could do what Zach Wilson did yesterday.
Right, exactly. Because there are very few people that can make throws like that and do it under duress and do it the way that the ball just actually lands right into the guy's hands. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. So he had a little bit of a coming out party yesterday, And it was a good game for him, and I'm glad he wakes up this morning finally with a little smile on his face.
Well, same here with us. We woke up this morning with a smile on our face because it's a Victory Monday on Boomer and Geo.
Right now you're hearing all your favorite music on your favorite station. But wait, there's more.
More songs from the artists you love on exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Just open the Odyssey app and click exclusive stations, then a genre to dive deeper into.
A station might be just music, or maybe hosted by Ed Sheeran, Chris Martin, or one of your favorite DJs.
Across alternative, pop,
Country, soft rock,
Latin, R&B,
kids,
and even more.
Get more with exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar.
The climate crisis is here. Time slipping away to stop the worst effects of global warming, and we need solutions. Hosted by me, Molly Wood, How We Survive dives deep into the economics, the tech, and the human stories behind those solutions. From billionaires trying to monopolize lithium mines to business rivalries so fierce that one CEO was dragged off a plane by federal authorities. How We Survive, following the money to the end of the world because our survival might depend on it. Listen on Odyssey and everywhere you get your podcasts.
There was stories of these girls that would leave his house and they would have to swim out in the lake and get away from them. He has a secret, like the secret room in his house. He put me in there, she said. I don't want anybody to die anymore. I don't want anybody else to die. I'm looking for Ashley.
Season 3 of Up and Vanished is available right now. Listen for free on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the morning show with Boomer Esiason and Greg Giannotti. Boomer and Geo.
I was all ready for the Legends Suite tomorrow night for the wild card game. That's not going to happen because that game is up in Fenway, but I have been thinking about going up there for a station presence, a WFAN station presence. I asked Boomer in the elevator if he wanted to go, and he looked at me as if I had 14 heads and didn't even answer. He just said, you just shook your head and said,
no.
That's it. You're obviously joking with me at this hour. I did ask Jerry. Jerry's interested. But I found out on Evan Roberts' Twitter, he tweeted to Chris McMonagle. He said, time for a road trip.
So they are going.
So I don't know, but it was just time for a road trip and then a GIF, and then he tagged him.
Yeah, I think they are.
They are going?
I think so.
So if they're going, then
we don't need
we have a station presence there.
I think Al should go. I think Al definitely should be sitting right behind home plate, and I want to see Al back there.
So I texted Evan to see, are you definitely going?
Yeah.
So if he's not, then I'm still I'm still in. But I'm sure he gets up a little bit later. He's got a million people in his house like me. It's the same thing. So there's no way that he's going to be sleeping past like 7:30. So he'll probably give us an answer in an hour. We'll figure it out.
Sounds good.
Little digital content there, Jerry.
There's no reason to do that.
So you're going to do digital?
Oh, yeah, digital content. Station presence. We're going to send back raps. We're going to do everything. Get
raps,
sound.
Send back raps and sound and everything?
No.
Are they going as press people? Or
I don't think so.
I would think they'll be in the stands.
Yeah, they go in the stands. He buys tickets on the secondary market.
I wasn't aware McMonagle was a scorekeeper, too.
He keeps score?
Yeah.
He seemed cooler than that.
I didn't know that. Yeah, but the big games he doesn't because he wants to just concentrate and focus on the game.
Yeah.
But a random game he goes to, he keeps score, keeps his book.
Senior year of high school.
McGonigal.
McGonigal. I kept him. Yeah, he does. Yeah. I kept a mean book senior year of high school when I got hurt. Baseball team. Oh, that book was clean. You get your grubby hands away from my book. And the coach, that's why I won the coach's award. Boomer.
That's why Neil Heaton loved you.
That's right, because I kept that clean book.
Right.
Anytime.
Did you keep pitches?
Clean
everything.
book.
Oh, yeah. Little ball,
even back then,
strike,
really?
ball. Oh, hell yeah, man.
Wow.
I didn't mess around. I focused on that thing. Coaches needed me. They needed, reference points, look back, couple of games. Hey, what did he do yesterday? You could always count on me there.
It's kind of key because I know my high school coach has all those books as well.
Oh, yeah.
And you can look back and you can try to remember the games.
The problem is they fade.
Yeah.
The ink fades.
Yeah. Even after a year. Speaking of all that, it's alumni weekend for Bellport football, so I'll be there this weekend, too, going back.
Are you really?
Alumni weekend. Oh, yeah. Got the invite. I'm going.
Good. Yeah, well, you should go.
Get in the mix.
Is that guy who destroyed you on that drill going to be there?
Kembo,
Kebra Johnson. No, probably not. No. There'll be some other guys that destroyed me in drills that are going into the Hall of Fame, the Bellport Football Hall of Fame that I'll see. But I don't know if Kebra will be there. If he is, I'll talk to him about it, see if he wants to call in and see his perspective on that. He probably doesn't remember. He used to blow people up all the time.
Has he been to past reunions?
I don't think so. I don't know if anybody's seen him in a long time. That's a guy I swear he could have played in the NFL if he had stayed focused. He would be like a corner for the Texans or something. All right, Jerry, what do we got, man?
What do we have? We've got a lot, and we are powered by Superbook, now open with better odds and favorable prices. We're also brought to you by HomeServe, New York's leading heating and cooling experts. You guys tell me. We got Jets, Giants, Yankees. Where would you like to start?
I think you got to start with the Yankees, Jerry.
We start with the New York Yankees. Really a horrific Friday, a horrific Saturday, and for Sunday, there wasn't much until Rougned Odor pops the ball into center field to put Tyler Wade into pinch run. He finds his way on base, and then to third base, and then Aaron Judge comes up first. And I was surprised second and third when Rizzo goes to second that they didn't walk him, but they don't, and Judge made him pay.
Scoreless, bottom of the ninth. Pitch. Swung on and lined up the middle. The throw home is not in time. Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Hey, fired up John Sterling.
Oh, it's amazing watching the Yankees after the game in the clubhouse. I know it's a 162-game season. I know it took 162 games to get there. Well, what are you celebrating?
Yeah, and it was funny because I watched this at the end of the game. I watched Judge's press conference. I watched Boone. I watched all the coverage of them in the clubhouse. When they first got in there, Michael Kay goes, very subdued Yankee team, because they know they've got bigger fish to fry.
Sure.
2 minutes later, champagne everywhere.
Celebratory cork.
Dumping everything, going crazy, pouring it on
cork.
like they won the World Series. I was like, subdued my ass.
I could see it more if you win the wild card game to get to a series.
Yeah, that I could see.
Like, all they did was accomplish one game.
I mean,
cork.
Yes.
I mean, it is the Yankees. You got to act like you've been there before. Thanks, Al.
Yeah.
And they have. And that thing. I mean, they've won many playoff games. Anyhow, they win 1-0. That was it. Thank you, Allie. Here's Aaron Boone on the Judge at bat and base hit.
With 2 strikes there, just a good job to even the count at 2-2 and then just putting it in play hard.
And he sure did. And it clipped off the pitcher, which is why it directed to the second baseman or whoever was sitting there. Odor started it, though, with a big hit. And he hasn't punched anybody in the face since he's been here. He's been a good addition. He's
just been an awesome person in our clubhouse. He's through this season where we've had our peaks and valleys and ups and downs, he's such a consistent person.
Yeah, well, he had the big hit yesterday for sure. Here was Odor. Bronxy is still around.
They got T-shirts now, too.
Yeah, the turtle.
She's good. She's still good in there, She's been giving us a lot of energy,
Yeah, the turtle's giving them energy.
Somebody should give Gleyber Torres some energy.
Yeah, I know.
He came running out of the dugout yesterday.
I thought that was Bronxy going to first.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I did think Aaron Boone...
It's not even funny. It's not funny. It's insulting.
No, it's funny. I thought Aaron Boone did make he tried to defend him slightly by saying... Okay. Here's Aaron Judge.
What did he say?
As he is looking...
What did he say?
That he thought the base was occupied, and then when he realized it wasn't is when he started to run. Now, I don't know that I buy that, but that was at least some sort of an explanation.
Do we know what Aaron Judge said to him in the dugout?
I don't know the answer. I don't know. I'd have to go look at clips from the other day.
Dude, what the F's wrong with you?
Yeah, so hopefully,
what are you doing?
Yeah, something like that.
I hope it was like that.
That was Saturday or Friday?
Saturday.
They run into one. All right, so let's see. Saturday.
Jordan Montgomery had his worst outing.
Yeah, he wasn't so good.
He got slapped around.
No, there's no Aaron Judge sound from Saturday. So if he did speak, we don't have it. Here was Judge as he is now looking forward to a trip to Fenway Park.
That's going to be a fun game right there. It's going to be action packed. They're going to bring their A game. We're going to bring our A game.
I certainly hope that everybody brings those big games because that will be a winner, move on type of deal. You got Cole, you got Eovaldi. Should be a blast. The winner will get the Rays in the first round. Now, the Red Sox were losing for a large part of Sunday in Washington, but they did come back and win. Rafael Devers a big home run. Here's Alex Cora.
It was fun to watch from the dugout. It was fun. You could feel the momentum building, and we're just happy to advance to the next round.
And so both teams 92-70. The Blue Jays played their hearts out, but they come up a win short. They go 91-71, and the Mariners lost 2 out of 3 to the Angels over the weekend, and sandwiched in between was that thrilling win on Saturday night where they came from behind and won, and Dave Sims got all the pub.
Was unbelievable.
Yes, it was. Great call.
That's how you call a game.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
there
they
was
lost
some
7-3 yesterday.
weeping going on in that Mariners team after that game. Some real emotion. Didn't make it.
Win.
You know what? I mean, I know that we were happy
Hard to do.
we got Yankees, Red Sox, but like, I don't
There
know.
are other people with other, they have their families and everything.
They got their families.
So
Yeah, they got a family.
disappointing.
But I mean, like the Blue Jays and the Mariners are 2 up and coming young teams.
Look out for the Blue Jays coming up. You're not kidding.
Yeah.
No doubt. The other AL playoff series will be the Astros and the White Sox. National League wild card game will be the Dodgers and Cardinals Wednesday night from L.A. The Giants are relentless, so they did win the division over the weekend. Winner will face the Giants in the first round. Braves-Brewers matchup in the other series. Braves beat the Mets yesterday. The Mets went 77-85. John Heyman reported Sunday they will contact Theo Epstein this week about their team president position. All right, to the football we go. Let's start with the Giants and the game winner in overtime.
Jones out of the gun. Hand off Saquon. Slices right to the end zone and in for the touchdown, and the Giants win it in overtime. Saquon Barkley on a 6-yard run.
That
was a good run by
Bob
him, too.
Hopper.
That was in between the tackles.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of that from them.
It was a quick cut, and it looks like, Saquon now maybe he's back. I mean, he looked good yesterday. He had 13 carries. He had a couple catches.
Had that 50-something
yard.
yard.
Nice down the sideline.
Biggest play of the game, probably.
I actually thought the biggest play of the game was the touchdown that was called back.
Oh,
because wasn't it 21-10 still at that point?
Yeah, you talk about the Jameis Winston, the Kenny Stills one? Yeah, you're probably right.
But either way, the Giants win 27-21 in overtime. Let's get to Joe Judge. He says this is all a part in the bigger picture.
I'm a believer in the process. I'm a believer in not looking at the result and thinking that justifies what you do.
Okay.
Says you have to continue doing this.
I'm a believer in coming back to work every week and knowing what it takes to be successful and sticking to that plan and not abandoning it because maybe you didn't get the result.
And results is big to him.
Results are the most, deceiving thing in mankind.
The most deceiving thing in mankind
are results. Okay. Well,
unfortunately, these coaches.
What if you go to a doctor and get a blood work?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't believe it there, doc. I'm telling you, my cholesterol's fine. These results are the most deceiving things in mankind. Totally fine.
Here, a little philosophical.
If you keep focused with what's away from you and forget about the steps you have to complete on the way there, you'll never get to where you really want to be.
This is after a win.
I mean, aren't they judged on results?
Yes,
of course.
Yes, he's going to be fired if the results aren't very good.
Results are the most, deceiving thing in mankind.
That's what we're going to tell Spike if we have bad ratings. These results are... Hey, I'm about to process, Spike. All right?
Come on, Spike.
I'm about to
we're
process.
processing
These
crap
shows have been
over
great.
here,
These
man.
results, who cares?
I could see him saying this if they lost yesterday, but played well. They won.
Most deceiving thing of all time, these results.
Mankind.
Yeah, mankind.
Mankind, yes. Here we are.
Here was Daniel Jones. He threw for 402 yards. He says, yep, very, very important win.
It certainly is. We needed a win, and there was a high sense of urgency to do that.
And his team believes in him. Here's Kadarius Toney. Never a doubt.
There's never no doubt there because we know at the end of the day our faith is the strongest belief we'll have,
Yes.
Yeah.
Young Joker had a day,
yes.
man. He needed to step up, but he did.
He had that one, which they're playing right now. He had a great
Look at him.
He showed some flashes as to why he's the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah, held on to the ball, caught the ball.
Yes.
Good route.
6 for 78.
See that little catch right there? Extended his hands, got inside his defender, made some runs after the catch.
Young Joker.
Young Joker's going to be, look at him, he's going to be fun.
Not as good as Taysom Hill's touchdown.
Oh, my God.
But still pretty damn good.
I think every Giant touched Taysom Hill on that play.
That was pretty wild. I'll actually give you the Saints call out that next hour because it's pretty
That
good.
interception had Taysom Hill through. That was also.
Here was, so the Giants win it in overtime. Now, in order to do that, you got to score first with the touchdown so the Saints don't get the ball back if you kick the field goal. But they did want the ball, and Jabril Peppers went out to midfield for the coin toss.
This is tails, this is heads. Heads is the call. And it is heads. We want that ball.
What curse was it?
Well, I'll play it again.
This is tails. This is heads. Heads is the call. And it is heads.
We want that low.
And in case you weren't sure, they did ask him to clarify what he said.
I said boom. Then I said we want that, MF'er, man.
See, this is why. This is why. Just so you know, I'm surprised it didn't hit him for taunting. Although $90,000 worth of fines from last week kind of mitigated all the taunting this week. But it's interesting that last year with no fans in the stands and everything, you could hear everything.
Yeah.
And that's why taunting was a point of emphasis coming into this year, because all the coaches could hear everything that was being said.
Oh, it makes sense. I never thought of that.
Right.
Well, he suffered a hamstring injury. We'll see what his availability is for Sunday when the Giants are in Dallas. As for the Jets, they also go to overtime, and they beat the Titans 27-24 as they beat the snot out of Ryan Tannehill. And Zach Wilson was outstanding, 297 yards passing, couple of touchdowns. Here was Robert Saleh. That's the Wilson we know.
He showed everything that we see in practice. We see it all. And the kid was outstanding.
He sure was. He does say, however, they should have won it sooner, meaning they should have scored a touchdown in overtime.
I was beating myself up on that last drive. Our defense did a great job, of course, of holding them. I got a missed field goal, but I got a couple of chances there to end it. I got to take advantage of my opportunity.
He's talking about his little out route to the right. And the ball sailed on him. That's the nerves part of it. And they'll calm down as he gets older. And he just did not want to make a crucial mistake at that point in the game.
Here was Saleh on the defense. They sacked Ryan Tannehill 7 times. They had 14 quarterback hits.
That was a big thing we talked about at halftime. You can't flinch, not against a team of Tennessee's caliber. But the D-line, again, they've been relentless all season.
And they were yesterday.
7 sacks. That's
impressive.
The last time the Jets had 7 sacks? Yeah. That'd be when Rex Ryan was here.
That was great, no doubt. They suffocated them. Here was Quinnen Williams. Props to the fans.
First and foremost, man, the fans was electric today on third down, man. Every single third down we had, man, the stadium was rocking.
It means a lot.
Jets. How about that? So here you have a winless team. Your fans are still showing up, and
they're into it.
And they are into it. And now they have to go to London and play this week against the Falcons in London.
Man, what a year for a rookie quarterback. I mean, my God, going out to Denver, going to London, he's facing Belichick. It's like, God.
You want to make $400 million?
No, I understand.
Stand in there, kid. Let's go.
I'm just
good. It's great.
Well, the reason I have these opinions is because of you. You're telling me this is not easy for these kids.
That's exactly right.
It's nuts, but
it's relentless.
Finally, we saw him look like an NFL player.
All right, quickly, the Sunday night game was all about Brady and Belichick. Brady wasn't great, but the Bucs did hold off the Patriots 19-17. Ryan Suckup, the go-ahead 48-yard field goal with 1:57 to go. Nick Folk then missed from 56 yards out. Well, could have been the lead. I won't say the win because there was still about a minute to go. Brady, 22 of 43, 269, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He does become the NFL's all-time leading passer. Here was Brady afterwards. He says, Foxborough, New England area, always be home.
It's been a great stadium, for me for a long time. So I don't know what the future holds. Obviously, there could be an opportunity to come back here.
And I don't know if he means to live or to play.
Live.
I think he meant to live because he was talking about how his kids were born there. He loves it. It was home for so long. Here was Belichick. So how about this? So you kind of know what the deal is going in. This is the first question to Belichick, who really wasn't interested.
And all those are personal, so we had a personal relationship.
Brady. Here it is.
Hey, Bill. You coached Tom Brady in practice for 20 years, but this is the first time you went ahead against him in a game. What was the experience like going?
We went against Tom Brady every day in practice defensively. So it's not like we've never seen Tom Brady before.
And so there was a follow-up.
Was the experience of coaching against him in a game any different?
They're a good football team. He's a great quarterback. I think that's all that goes without saying.
How about the fact they held him to 19 points, no touchdown passes? That was a brilliant defensive defense. That was your typical kind of like Patriots. They've done this for 20 years, even when Tom Brady was a quarterback. Remember, Mike Vrabel would get the key tip, Ty Law would get the interception, Richard Seymour would get the key sack. They'd let the other team run the ball and hold on to the ball, and then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, they'd be playing field position game. The only difference here is that just, Mac Jones, by the way, he played fantastic. But they didn't have over 300 yards of offense. But what he was asked to do, he did it, and he gave his team a chance to win late in the game. That's why he, at the moment, is the hottest rookie quarterback playing. He looks like the most advanced, but maybe Zach Wilson showed a little bit yesterday.
He's going to surpass him.
He may surpass him at some point.
Patriots 1-3, Bucks 3-1. Tonight, Chargers home for the Raiders. We'll have it for you on the Fan right around 8 p.m. Just quickly, a couple of other things here. You had the Nets beat the Lakers in preseason action. Knicks open theirs tomorrow against the Pacers. Steve Kerr told the media Sunday Andrew Wiggins was vaccinated, so he will be eligible to play now in home games this year.
How about Kyrie? Any word on
Haven't
that?
heard. I mean,
Is he at
you would
practice?
know that. Well, they were in California, so he was, sure. The
He's
question
there.
is,
Yeah,
in
he's
Brooklyn,
there.
what is he going to do?
Okay.
I don't know. And reports say, not surprising, that the Sixers did not pay Ben Simmons the $8.25 million he's owed. That's 25% of his contract. And then going forward, he will be fined. How much per game? If you had a guess, you can't think about it. How much per game will he be fined?
$300,000.
Eddie.
$1.5 million.
Oh, God, no. That would be $80 million a year. Now, more than $120 million a year. And you're very close, Al. $227,000 per game he will be fined starting today when they take on Toronto.
This may be one of the dumbest things an athlete has ever done.
Yeah, he's got no leverage.
None. Absolutely none. You always talk about at some point the owners have, well, this is your
the guy.
This is it.
Right.
Because no one wants them.
All right, Jerry, thank you.
30 years ago this fall, a law professor named Anita Hill testified about sexual harassment at Clarence Thomas's Supreme Court confirmation hearings. Now, Because of Anita tells the real story of what happened and what's changed. You'll hear from journalists, witnesses, and activists, and listen in on the first public conversation between Professor Hill and Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. That's Because of Anita, a production of Pineapple Street Studios and The Meteor, out now wherever you get your podcasts.
Right now you're hearing all your favorite music on your favorite station. But wait, there's more.
More songs from the artists you love on exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Just open the Odyssey app and click exclusive stations, then a genre to dive deeper into.
A station might be just music, or maybe hosted by Ed Sheeran, Chris Martin, or one of your favorite DJs.
Across alternative, pop,
country, soft rock,
Latin, R&B,
kids,
and even more.
Get more with exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar.
There was stories of these girls that would leave his house and they would have to swim out in the lake and get away from them. He has a secret room in his house. He put me in there, she said. I don't want anybody to die anymore. I don't want anybody else to die. I'm looking for Ashley.
Season 3 of Up and Vanished is available right now. Listen for free on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the morning show with Boomer Esiason and Greg Giannotti. Boomer and Gio.
Just heard back from Evan Roberts. He is indeed going up to Boston, so Jerry and I will not be going. It'd be too much if we all went. I figured if there was no station presence, maybe I'd step up and go up there, but he's going up there with McGonigal. So those two will have all your digital stuff, so it's going to be an intense matchup. Yankees, Red Sox. McGonigal. And McGonigal's a big Yankee fan, too. So the Legend Suites will have to wait.
Chaos going?
For the, I don't know.
Is he allowed to leave the town or no?
Oh, yes, he is allowed, but I think he's going to main it on this end.
On this end. So they're going to do the show split. So he's going up there. Evan's going up there to do the show and then go to the game, obviously, right after the show.
I believe so. I don't have the details.
He
but
can't, it won't be able to make it. He'd have to go.
Yeah, no, he would have to go up there tomorrow morning.
Right. He'd have to do the
show here, go up there tomorrow morning, and then do the show from up there.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
I wonder if I guess he would do it, so are Susan and John going to the game?
No, they don't go to the road games.
Well, would they do this for the playoff game or no?
I don't think so. What changed?
It's a playoff game.
Yeah, I guess, but same stuff. They're not going. They haven't gone all year.
But hopefully, they could maybe use the visitors radio.
That's what I'm saying. He will be at Fenway doing the show, or will he be at WEEI doing the show?
I think you got to be at Fenway. I think you have to be at the.
All right, so you're making all these
the ballpark, right?
Want me to get him on as a guest?
Yeah. Let's find out what he's doing. Oh no,
you want him on as a guest?
Well, we're asking all these questions.
Yeah, logistical. We need to know.
All right, so what are you going to do? You're going to go up there. You're going to take the train. You're going to do. You fly. You're going to drive. You're going to hop on. There's a shuttle. Then you're going to take what is that? The T. Then you're going to Fenway. You're going to show up about what time? You got a credential? No credential. Are you going to tickets? You a secondary market? You go. But you a StubHub guy? You go StubHub. You don't. Did you ask for tickets to the radio station or not? Where are the seats? Lower level, upper level. Okay, so then you'll stay home. You go home after the game, do the show back at the studio. Okay, so are you going to stay another night? Where's the hotel? What floor? I mean, and that's not an exaggeration.
No,
that's
I don't know.
That
is right on. That's right on.
What would be going on for sure. All right, I know he's awake because he texted me back. All right, let's go to Zach, who's in Rockville Center. What's going on, Zach?
Yo, that's killing me. Oh, my God. Good morning, guys.
What's up?
So I'm sitting there yesterday, right? I'm at work watching the Giant game. Well, actually listening to the Giant game. And, I'm just smelling the Yankees just getting rocked by the Rays again, right? I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty Malbad Monday, but now it's going to be a make love Monday because everything's turned around. We're going to Boston. They pitched Chris Sale yesterday.
Yep.
Why? I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but it's not like he would have done any better. But, and you know what? One thing I wanted to bring up to you, Boomer, before I let you guys go is, so yesterday, Bob Papa, I'm listening to him, right? And this is before the Saquon touchdown, right? And Bob Papa just says in such a defeated voice to Carl Banks, he goes, they make it look so easy, don't they? In reference to the Saints offense.
Right.
Because he's watching them. And, you're watching the Giants offense, and Daniel Jones looked great yesterday, 400 yards, but sometimes you're watching them on defense and offense, and you're just like, God, they don't look like an NFL football team sometimes. It's just so frustrating. I know what Bob is saying because I'm watching other teams, 4 o'clock games, Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, watching teams move the ball so easily. And the Giants just don't do that a lot of times. So I'm just like, what do you see, Boomer? What I do see is a young quarterback that is getting it. He's not fumbling it. He's not turning it over. Yesterday he had an interception, but that was the end of the half. It was a Hail Mary. So he's obviously growing in that regard, which is really important because the thing that killed him in past years has been the bad turnovers. So he's gotten through that. Their schedule is going to be tough the next couple of weeks. There's no question about that. And, it's not like he's arrived totally, but yesterday, was his best game as a pro because of what was on the line, when it all happened. And, and some of the plays and some of the throws that he made, much like Zach Wilson made yesterday, make you realize that these kids can do it. Now he's got to just do it, on a consistent basis. But I said yesterday in the pregame show on the NFL Today, I said, the Giants are a team that could take New Year's Eve and turn it into a funeral. That's basically who they are. Like there's no, it doesn't seem like there's any energy. And yesterday, at least in the fourth quarter, we started to see some of that energy. And maybe this Kadarius Toney is the energy.
Well, yeah. I mean,
he's like the Energizer Bunny yesterday watching him run around on the field.
No, I know. And he caught the ball. He looked like he knew what route to run. The yards after the catch, the speed, the elusiveness. I mean, this is all the stuff that the Giant fan was talking about. Like, why aren't we using this guy?
Well,
this is
because,
ridiculous.
Yeah, I know, but I have to tell you guys, it's like the same thing with Denzel Mims. They have to earn their time on the field. And there's many factors that determine that. Some of it is there are players that are better than them on the team. Some of it is their own fault. They are either injured or they don't know what they're doing or they're late for meetings or they keep making the same mistakes in practice. Maybe they've talked back to a coach or something. There's so many factors that determine whether or not a guy gets on the field. Now, they'll always give a high draft pick more chances than the non-drafted player. There's no question about that. We all know that. But ultimately, Kadarius Toney and Denzel Mims, they'll get on the field like yesterday. We saw what Kadarius Toney is all about and why they drafted him in the first round. You saw it.
Now, when
the
wide receivers get healthy, I still want to see young Joker out there. I mean,
well, I think he yesterday he earned it.
Yeah, right. And
so that's the whole thing, and he's got to continue to earn it. So that means he's got to come this week to practice. He's got to be spot on in all of his reads and all of his responsibilities. He can't be late for meetings. You can't be falling asleep in meetings. You can't be, missing practice. You got to be out there, and you got to be on the field.
30 years ago this fall, a law professor named Anita Hill testified about sexual harassment at Clarence Thomas's Supreme Court confirmation hearings. Now, Because of Anita tells the real story of what happened and what's changed. You'll hear from journalists, witnesses, and activists and listen in on the first public conversation between Professor Hill and Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. That's Because of Anita, a production of Pineapple Street Studios and The Meteor, out now wherever you get your podcasts.
There was stories of these girls that would leave his house and they would have to swim out in the lake and get away from them. He has a secret, like the secret room in his house. He put me in there, she said. I don't want anybody to die anymore. I don't want anybody else to die. I'm looking for Ashley.
Season 3 of Up and Vanished is available right now. Listen for free on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Right now you're hearing all your favorite music on your favorite station. But wait, there's more.
More songs from the artists you love on exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Just open the Odyssey app and click exclusive stations, then a genre to dive deeper into.
A station might be just music, or maybe hosted by Ed Sheeran, Chris Martin, or one of your favorite DJs.
Across alternative, pop,
country, soft rock,
Latin, R&B,
kids,
and even more.
Get more with exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar.
It's the morning show with Boomer Esiason and Greg Giannotti. Boomer and Gio.
Keeping up with the flood of news every single day can be quite stressful. There is climate change happening. There's the pandemic, labor movements, Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend. Hi, I am Gideon Resnick, host of Crooked Media's What a Day. Each week, Travelle Anderson, Priyanka Arabindi, Josie Duffy Rice, and I are going to break down the biggest news stories of the day in a way that hopefully doesn't always make you want to cry. New episodes of What a Day drop every weekday at 5 a.m. Eastern. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
There's a lot of streaming services out there, each filled with reality TV, comedy, drama, and of course, superheroes. But there's one dedicated entirely to nonfiction TV and documentary films, and that's Curiosity Stream. History, science, nature, we've got it. Space, dinosaurs, big cats, we've got that too. And pretty much anything else you want to explore. Go ahead, add some smart TV to your smart TV with Curiosity Stream. Go to curiositystream.com to sign up and start streaming today.
There was stories of these girls that would leave his house and they would have to swim out in the lake and get away from them. He has a secret, like the secret room in his house. He put me in there, she said. I don't want anybody to die anymore. I don't want anybody else to die. I'm looking for Ashley.
Season 3 of Up and Vanished is available right now. Listen for free on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.